Doing well today is Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, and that is on the back of a strong third quarter business update where asset quality improved and loan growth remained healthy. To discuss the performance further, we are now joined by Ittira Davis, who is the Managing Director and CEO of Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. Mr. Davis, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in. And firstly, season's greetings to you. Loan growth, Mr. Davis, has been strong this quarter. Do you expect this trend to continue as the financial year draws to a close?
Good morning, Hormaz. Good morning, Nigel. It's good to be with you, and thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, the third quarter was a challenging quarter, but the economy is still going strong, and we were able to see good loan demand, and more importantly, we were sort of applying textbook approach on the deposit liability side, because if you look at the deposits, our retail deposits did very well. Our deposits on the CASA side had seen a growth, and the market generally has been tight on that. And you have seen a lot of banks raising interest rates in the recent past. But despite all of those, we have held on, and the textbook approach in the third quarter has actually paid off. So I think you're seeing the results of all that.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Davis, and always good to have you on the show, sir. And compliments of the season to you as well as your entire team as well. Let's get a couple of numbers out of the way. I recall when we last chatted, I think you were guiding for around mid-teens growth, mid-20s growth, beg your pardon, for the year. Did you hold on to that? And when we chatted at the end of quarter two, you said that the worst in terms of NIM compression is over and maybe things should start looking up from here. Do you hold on to that?
Yeah, in terms of overall guidance, we had said around 25%. We still maintain that for the full year. In terms of NIM, I think we'll wait for the numbers a couple of weeks down the road, and you will find that what we had indicated should be in the right direction. So we'll wait for those numbers to be announced. But yes, overall, we are maintaining the guidance that we gave previously, and we are looking forward to the fourth quarter, which is obviously for us the best quarter of the year. It was the best quarter last year, and we expect that it will be the best quarter this year as well.
Right. But Mr. Davis, in your second quarter numbers, your gross NPA in absolute terms, in value terms, was down sequentially. But your net NPA went up from almost 12.5 crores to almost 22 crores. What went wrong over there, and how much of your restructured book do you expect to turn bad going forward?
See, the thing is that last year we had an unusual situation because the previous year, 21-22, there was provisioning because of the COVID situation. Last year we had a very good recovery on those numbers, and that is what you are comparing this year's figures with. So I think this year we are getting closer to a more normal situation, and last year was a sort of outlier because of the recoveries that we had on the bad loans. So going forward, we will see these numbers more becoming normal as against what we had seen in previous years. So I think that is the way in which you need to compare the numbers. But overall, I think we are in the right direction. We'd like to see further degrowth in the NPA and GNPA numbers, which we hope will come through in the fourth quarter and into next year. But the compression is going to be less, as most of the good news has been collected over the last 6 or 8 quarters on the NPA front. But we'd like to normalize it in the next financial year.
Okay. Asset quality improvement is something that you're looking at, but we have seen some bit of improvement, and it's likely to continue in FY25 as well. Mr. Davis, I just wanted a couple of numbers then. What is the cost of borrowing in quarter three? How much higher was it in comparison to quarter two?
The cost of borrowing, the exact numbers will be,
very roughly.
It may be, in the first 3 months, I think, of or rather the third quarter, it may be about 0.1 or 0.2% higher than the previous quarter.
Okay, 10 to 20 basis points higher. Before we get back to your operational performance, I think 30th of January is the next hearing with regard to the NCLT owing to that merger. Is that correct?
That's right. That's the second next hearing. That's right.
So what's the what are the steps post that then? Because we've been waiting for this and optimistic that you'll close it out in the near future, this merger. By when?
So I think, whatever happens in the January 30th hearing is the critical point. If the NCLT gives its clearance, then we move into February and March to try and complete the regulatory requirements and do the share swap, which is the last part of it. So if all goes well, we hope to complete it in this financial year, and that's what we are targeting right now.
So a favorable outcome at the NCLT takes us straight to the record date then. Are we getting that correct?
That's right.
Right. So you're expecting to complete this by the end of the current financial year, right, Mr. Davis? And now part two of my question is that your disbursals were up 17% this quarter, and they have been they've been maintaining this trajectory of between 15 to 20% through the year. Do you expect this strength to continue? And what are the segments that are contributing towards this growth?
Yeah, the growth is a factor that we have always built in terms of the overall portfolio growth. So I think to that extent, it will continue. The best growth we have seen is in our housing portfolio, because that portfolio, as we said, has year on year grown by about 70%. It is on a smaller base, so obviously that comes through. But what we did last year is we went back to the drawing board and put together a housing team and housing proposition, which is now paying off in terms of growth, because we rebuilt the model. We put in place units which were able to provide everything in terms of the legal support, the credit support, the business support, all in one place. And we have area offices across the country. We are increasing that number. And that has helped us to streamline the whole process of housing loans. We are now doing that for other secured loan portfolios. So our objective is to increase our secured loan portfolio over the next 2 to 3 years and build it towards a 60-40 breakup, 60 unsecured, 40 secured, and from where it is today, 28.5 and 71.5. So that is the direction we are going. And I think, the way in which the systems are all falling in place, we should be able to target and achieve that objective over that period of time.
Right. One final question from my end, Mr. Davis. Are there any, very quickly, due to paucity of time, are there any suitors lined up for the Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, or is there any acquisition that you are planning to do going forward?
Yeah, it's all possibilities as we go forward. Once we have the reverse merger behind us and we come into the new financial year, we will look at all opportunities to grow. Organic growth is very good right now, but if inorganic growth can help us and boost that in the right direction, definitely we will look at those options. But
so
right
you're looking
now,
at
we will be looking at what we can add to Ujjivan at this moment.
So you could be looking at inorganic growth post the merger, but what about being acquired? Is that a possibility?
We haven't received any offers or anything of that nature, but the board will look at anything that comes by. We are a listed company, and anything that is to the benefit of our shareholders has to be looked at.
Interesting. So let's see whether or not there's an offer that comes about. But we have spoken enough about the company, Mr. Davis. The big other factor that the markets will be looking at, the entire Indian economy as well will be looking at, is Budget 2024. What's in your wish list?
Yeah, we are looking at the government to be more adaptable to the financial inclusion space, and I think this is a very important part of the growth of the government in the last 8-10 years. And I think if they continue to push in that direction, it will make a lot of difference to the bottom of the pyramid, and I think that is what we are looking to support.
All right, Mr. Davis, we leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining in and sharing your valuable insights, and wish you good luck for the year ahead. That was the management of Ujjivan Small Finance Bank as we speak based on their third quarter business updates. But we'll slip into a short break here on Chartbusters. More on the markets and stock specific action on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.